So, I just want to come on here and talk about one of my favorite quotes, and that is, the human obsession with purpose is merely a distraction from the absurdity of existence. It's a quote attributed to Nikolai Gogol, who was a Ukrainian writer. The human obsession with purpose is merely a distraction from the absurdity of existence. Now, most people probably take that quote and they think your obsession with purpose is distracting you from the absurdity of existence. So it's so absurd and so beautiful, and life just on its own is so beautiful that worrying about some kind of purpose distracts you from that beauty. And I see that, but I'm kind of on the opposite side of it, where I think like it's necessary. Like, you absolutely need a purpose to distract you from the absurdity of existence. I think existentialism and just worrying about why are we here, what are we doing, all that bullshit just leads to depression. But I think focused work and goals and achieving valuable things, this search for purpose, is kind of the only thing that keeps you away from that kind of dark place of existentialism. I'd say for me, when I'm focused on things and I'm working at a very specific goal and to achieve that thing, is when I'm most happy. And when I don't have any kind of purpose or any kind of goal or anything that I'm chasing or seeking, that's when I'm just kind of in my head too much and depressed and not focused. And I'm just very misguided. I feel like when I'm not chasing anything, I don't really know where to go. And like, I'm not sure if this is like a bad thing, but it's like, if I don't have something that I'm chasing or working towards, I feel like I can't just enjoy nothingness. Like, if I'm not doing anything and I'm just kind of sitting there idly, and it's like, oh, just enjoy life. Like, it feels like it's hard to enjoy unless you're chasing something so deeply that you're like obsessed with it. And the obsession is fun, but then also when you're in that place of chasing a greater purpose, when you are relaxing, I feel like the relaxing feels better, feels more worth it, and that you deserve it because you have put in good work into something you care about. I think humans absolutely need purpose, absolutely need a place to focus your energy and your thoughts and your desires. And if you don't, you just end up chasing stupid things that don't matter, such as the rebel without a cause trope. Like, everyone, I think, or I'm not sure about everyone, but I think a lot of us have this thing in us where you want to be part of something bigger. You want to be part of some kind of a group that's seeking good things. You want to be a rebel against a corrupt system. But if you don't have a cause, if you don't have a place to focus that energy, then it just feels like you're powerless. And that powerlessness leads to depression and existentialism. And by existentialism, I mean like the kind of trope of, why are we here? What is the purpose of all this? Why me? Why is human life a thing? I think those things are fun to think about, but if you spend all your time kind of in that rabbit hole, I don't think it leads anywhere fun. There's this innate human desire to be understood, to be known, to be respected. And I think all of those things come from chasing a purpose greater than you. Like, those who are remembered and those who are respected and those who are known have done things that the common group deems worthy. If you sit at home and do nothing, that will never lead to being known or respected. But if you do things that the group cares about, that people deem hard and worthy and difficult and just, and if you're someone who can go in and accomplish those things, well, obviously that's going to bring mutual respect from your peers. Now, him saying the human obsession with purpose is merely a distraction from the absurdity of existence, you don't really know if he's saying it like he's happy it's a distraction or he's not happy. Now, the fact that they put the word merely in there makes me feel like he's not happy. It's merely a distraction. So it's like, oh, this only exists because you can become distracted from the absurdity of existence. I think it's positive, though. I think it's good. I think you have to come out of your mind and do things, accomplish things, have purpose. Because if you spend all your time in your mind wondering about the absurdity of existence, I just don't think that leads anywhere good. Now, this quote is very similar to another one I like. I know of no greater life's purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible. Now, he gets it, I would say. That was for Friedrich Nietzsche. And I would say he definitely gets it because he's saying it as if it's a positive thing. He said, there's nothing better in life. There's no greater life's purpose than to perish attempting the great and impossible. Attempting things that are hard and difficult and worthy and just. The great and impossible, things that other people deem to be difficult, so difficult that they're almost impossible. Or maybe they are in fact impossible. Attempting those things, having purpose, having a goal to chase and something to do, and competition and greatness and obsession, like all those things lead to a good life. For me, I look back, I'd say the happiest times I've ever been, like not like instances like a birthday or like, you know, some little small day or vacation or trip. I mean like lengths of time, chapters in my story where I would have been the happiest was when I was absolutely dialed in, when I was absolutely obsessed with one thing and becoming great at that one thing. For example, tree planting. When I was so in the trenches, literally and figuratively, that every single day I was obsessed with planting more and more trees to make more and more money. And I was learning from the vets, and I was observing how the best planters planted and moved and wasted no time and had the shortest cash breaks, and how they would limit their movement so that they could plant quicker and move quick between trees and not waste any time, and how they would understand kind of the concept of where their line was without seeing the absolute line, and just becoming as effective and as efficient of a planter as possible to just make the most amount of money possible. I look back at those seasons, my first and my second season of planting, and those short stints I did afterwards, and I'm like, that was some of my favorite memories. When I was taking chemical engineering in school, and yeah, the first year was rough, second year a bit less rough. By third year, I kind of had it figured out, and I was chasing the highest marks I could, and like that success. Or my fifth year when I took my capstone project where we designed a chemical plant in one semester. When I was learning how to simulate chemical reactors in Excel and learning how to then integrate my findings with my groups and take all of these chemical process units that we'd solve together and implement them together into one functioning chemical plant that would actually take in raw materials and produce chloromethane in such a way that we could have given those plans to someone, and yeah, there obviously might have been some mistakes, but in such a way that basically it was all solved for them, like we from scratch did that. that just made me extremely happy. I think work now, where I'm constantly chasing more and more experience and knowledge so that I can learn more and more and become as good of an engineer as possible and make as much money as possible, and to lead into the kind of business and startup ideas that I have later on, that makes me happy. But it's kind of the moments where like you're not really doing those things, or you kind of fall off your habits, or you kind of lose the plot a little bit. You lose the story, and you kind of deviate, and you like are kind of like a kite in the wind, and you don't really know what to do or why to do it. I think that's then you're kind of bordering into that absurdity of existence category, and I just don't really like it there. So that's why for me, I just really do like the quote. I'm not really sure the original intention, and obviously the good thing about literature and art is anyone can take something that someone else produces, and because of their own unique story and experiences, they'll interpret it in a different way. The way I interpret it maybe isn't even the way that the author, Nikolai, wanted it to be understood, but it's, for me, the way it makes the most sense. The human obsession with purpose is merely a distraction from the absurdity of existence.